Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori. We're doing again live on this silky smooth Sunday. Hope you guys went to church. Hope you had an amazing time at church today. And of course, I have Miss Brandy with me again today. Of course, she's back by popular demand. Wait a minute, she froze. So hold on a second. Rainbow. Okay, let me remove the other one. Okay. Have with me Miss Brandy back by popular demand. People's like, you gotta have her back. Like what? You remember the last time a storm came, so they was like, you gotta definitely have her back. So before we
Listen,
get started once again, listen, before we get started again, you know how I do. I want you to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, about your business, and all of that. So this is your time to shine. Tell the people about you.
hey. So my name is Brandy. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a couple different businesses. My one business is Everything She Loves. Um, and the other one is Extraordinary Shades. I create all different types of personalized sunglasses, earrings, and other different things. And then I'm also working on some other new businesses as well.
Sounds good. And then you say you got extraordinary shades. Now I tried on some another pair of shades the last time, but this is another pair of shades that I have.
Oh, yeah. Yes, honey.
But Karen, of course, we talked about the businesses, and we're gonna get into what you have upcoming a little later in the podcast. But today we're going to be talking about the importance of obedience, which is something that one of the topics that we're going to touch on, which you chose. Why did you choose to talk about the importance of obedience? What exactly does that mean to you? Being the importance of obedience.
The importance of obedience. Oh, I can go so many different ways with that. A couple years back or whatever, the Holy Spirit had told me that I would move here to Atlanta. Um, I was one of those people that it wasn't that I didn't believe, because I definitely believed, but I at the time was trying to bring everybody with me, and that's not what he told me to do. But the importance of obedience is when the Lord is leading you to do something, it's important for you to do it. It's not for you to add different people or bring anybody with you or whatever. But the importance is, so when he say move, move. So
Right.
yes.
So let me ask you this question. You say you want to bring everyone with you. Why is that? Because he didn't tell them, he told Brandy. So
Right.
why did you take it upon yourself to feel like you had to bring everybody else with you?
And I'll be so honest. At the time, I was trying to think about other people and what they wanted to do as well, even though God didn't tell me to bring them. My thought was, oh, well, maybe that person will make it here, or these people will make it, or whatever. So, I can help them out. And what it did was it ended up setting me back, um, because I wasn't obedient at the time that he told me. I did come to the place that he told me to come, but he didn't tell me to bring people with me. And so it kind of set me, how can I say, delayed but not denied or whatever. So there were some things that I had to endure, that I had to go through, because of that disobedience. So
Mm. And we do know that partial disobedience is complete disobedience.
yes,
And
yes.
I think that's one of the things that we as humans, well, I'll say good people, we care about others and we want to
Mhm.
bring others with us, but that's not what God told us to do. And
Mm-mm.
sometimes I know one of the things I battle with is knowing Now there are some people that you have to totally disconnect from, and then
Yes.
there's people that you have to be patient with. And
Mhm.
my struggle used to be, who am I going to be patient with, and who
Mhm.
I'm going to totally disconnect from. But now now what God is telling me, I can hear him so clearly. The Holy Spirit
Mhm.
speaks so clearly, and you know exactly. And it's like,
Mhm.
now, and you know that, you got to look out for self. And a lot of times when we look out for self, it's not being selfish.
No, it's not. Mm-mm.
It's not being selfish. And
It's
that's what
not.
I used to think. I was like, well, if I'm looking out for me, I used to worry about hurting people's feelings. I used to feel like I was selfish, but that is not the case. Just like you
Mhm.
said, he told you. He did
He
not
told
tell,
you. Yes.
because he gave you the vision. He gave you, what he set out the blueprint for you.
Right.
And nobody saw that. And this is the thing: when God gives you a vision, nobody is going to protect that vision like you would.
Right. Right.
No one. So, what is some of the things that you would like to encourage people in regards to the importance of obedience? Because there are going to be times that people are going to want to um stray from being obedient. So, what are
Mhm.
some of the things that you would encourage people to, or some tips that you would give people in regards to obedience?
The most important thing that I would tell you is, if if you know for a fact that the Holy Spirit is the one, that God is the one that sent you to a place or to do a thing, to just do it. You'll know, because you will have such a peace in your spirit. Now, I'm not going to say that opposition won't come, because it most definitely will, but you will just know. And you have to understand that I how can I say it? I actually believe that God gives us a window. And what I mean by that is, it's got to be done at a certain time. So when he say to do that thing, you need to do it, because that window, I believe, will shut, of opportunity. And he knows exactly how everything is going to work out. Um, he knows what's going to take place and all of that. And so I believe that that's the reason why, when he puts something in our spirit to do something, we have to do it right at the time that he wants us to do it, because it could literally be a window of opportunity, but you can also miss that opportunity if you don't move in the time that he tells you to move. So my encouragement is to move your feet. If he say to do a thing, to do it. Don't hesitate. You don't need to talk to your mama about it. You don't need to talk to your daddy about it, your friend, your cousin. If he told you to do a thing and he put it on your heart and spirit to do it, then you need to just do it. And I'm telling you, do that thing afraid. Do it by yourself, and just do it. Just do it.
Now, let me ask you this question, because that's one of my fears. Like, if God tells me to move to a different location, say it's a location that I don't know anyone, I don't know anything about this place.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do in preparation for the move? Did you do any research, or you just got up and moved? And what did that time frame look like once he told you that you needed to move? What did that time frame look like? Like, say for example, he whispered in your ear and told you this yesterday. How long did it take you to listen, and what steps you take in order to just pick up, and did you just pick up and leave? Or, like I said, what is that process like? Because that's one of the things I'm nervous about. I'm like, Lord, if you tell me to move, where am I going? And I'm gonna be scared.
Well, I'll say this for me. Um, I had a dream about Atlanta about 10 or 15 years ago. So I knew that I was coming here. At the time, I just didn't know when. Well, it was confirmed back in 2020. The same dream that I had, it was confirmed that it was meant for me to come here. It was me that drug my feet, because I should have been gone back in 2020, 2021. But it took me until 2023 to come here or whatever. Um, when I came, the Lord told me, like I said before, to come along. It took a lot of prayer. I couldn't share with everybody. Um, I really didn't. I won't say I prepared because when I came here, it was a lot of opposition. I ended up in a hotel. I ended up in a shelter. Um, but I still came because the importance of obedience. That's the reason why I came. I really didn't have a plan. I had a plan, but I didn't have a plan. And he ended up having a plan too, or whatever. So I'm telling you, a lot of opposition came. So I think sometimes when certain things come up against us, we begin to think, oh, well, maybe that really wasn't God. Maybe it wasn't him that told me to come or whatever. So I would just say, however he's leading you to do a thing, to do it that way. Because I believe that even though he sent me here to Georgia, if he was to send somebody else somewhere else, he may give them different directions or preparation.
So when you said that the opposition came, because there was so much opposition, how did it not allow you to give up and get discouraged? And I'm pretty sure you may have
Ooh.
gotten discouraged. You may have wanted to give up.
Oh, I did. I did. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. Like when I first got here, I lost everything. So it made me start thinking, okay, well maybe this wasn't God. And I got to a point where literally it got so bad that I wanted to commit suicide. I really did. But I'm telling you, I know that God sent me here for a purpose and a reason. And that reason and that purpose is not for Brandy. It wasn't just for me, but that it's for somebody else. And since I've been here, I have been able to minister to so many different people. I have been able to encourage them and, just different things like that. But I'm telling you, it's like the opposition still comes. It still comes, but it takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of fasting. It takes getting around the right people, the right tribe. You need your tribe, the right purpose partners. Um, Purpose partner don't mean just for marriage, but it mean the right friendships, the right people, that will be able to help you and to lift you up and to encourage you. So that's how I am. That's how I was able to sustain to be able to be here because I'm telling you, I wanted to just throw the towel in. I'm going back home. And that's what I wanted to do. But I kept hearing the Spirit of God telling me to stay because I was in the right place. So,
That was very transparent to say that you wanted to commit suicide. Let me tell you, let me say this from me. Me personally, I am so glad that you did not do that because you are
yes,
so necessary. You are so needed. You are appreciated. You are enough. You are a beautiful
hmm,
person inside and out. You are an encourager, and you've actually spoken life to me on days when you didn't even know that you were speaking life
yes,
into me. So I am glad that you did not allow the devil to fully take your mind. Now we're
yes,
human, so we're gonna have those thoughts because I myself
yes,
have had those thoughts as well. But it takes a strong person not to give into those thoughts. And I'm so grateful and thankful to God that you did not give into those thoughts. Did not give
yes,
into thoughts. Because I'm just listen, the way God set this thing up, there's so much more in store for you.
yes, it
You got
is.
so much, there's so much in store for you that's coming. So back to this obedience. Now, tell people that obedience means complete obedience, meaning obedience in all areas of your life. What exactly does that mean when you say complete obedience? Because some people are like, well, I'm obedient here, but they may not be obedient over here.
Oh,
So
Lord.
to make sure we're on the same page, we're talking about complete obedience, right? Because some people get it twisted. Like, well, I'm doing
Yeah.
it right over here, but then you doing stuff over here. So what exactly does that complete obedience look like? What exactly does that complete obedience mean?
Whew. I would say surrendering.
Mm.
Surrendering. I mean, literally surrendering everything. Your all, your life, your job, your business, your kids, just everything. Just surrendering. And that's what I would say is surrendering in every area of your life. Is just surrendering. And I believe that once you do that, it will be a little bit more easier to be obedient. We can't be obedient over here and then don't be obedient over here. And so that's why I say I think it takes complete surrendering in
And how
everything.
important and how important is it for us to also fast and pray? Because we can think we're being obedient, but we're not fasting and praying. How essential is fasting and praying in regards to being connected to obedience?
I would say it's very important. I'll be so honest, and a little transparent right now. I didn't really start fasting and praying like I am now until I got here. And sometimes I believe it takes something happening um, for us to really fast and pray like we need to. I've always been a warrior in prayer, but it was the fasting part for me or whatever. So I would say, as the Lord lead, because I allow Him to lead me to fast, not to pray, because we need to do that daily. But the fasting, I literally allow Him to lead me on how He wants me to do that. So
Right.
yeah.
Now, what are some of the do you do? Because I was listening to someone the other day and they said the Daniel fast is not really a fast. It's like a different. It's like a diet type thing. It's not really a fast. I don't know how true that is. I got to do some deeper research, but they were saying it's not really a fast. But for me,
Hmm.
when I do my fast, it's just literally I'm
My
drinking
hair is
water. You fine. I'm drinking. I'm drinking water throughout the day, and I do it a certain amount of hours. And then when I'm
hurt.
also fasting, I'm praying throughout the day, and I'm also reading the, daily devotionals and stuff. So when you do your fast, do you like do just strictly water, or what different types of fast do you do?
It is so funny because the way that you do yours is the same way I do mine. I drink
Okay.
water throughout the day, and I'm also a diabetic. So, well, let me not say that. I deal with certain illnesses or whatever that I'm not receiving and accepting. So let me change
Right.
that. But
Right.
anyways, I am a diabetic, so I drink a lot of water. And what I do is I usually fast from midnight to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's how the Lord had led me to do it. So I would say, however, He's leading you to do it. If He's leading you to do it where maybe you're just taking something that's your favorite thing and
Mhm.
eliminating it for a couple days
Mhm.
or for a couple of hours, I believe that
Mhm.
He would, you know, honor that or whatever. But that's the same way I do mine. I do a lot of, you definitely got to pray, and then I
Right.
read my devotional and my word, because I have a devotional women's Bible as well. But I just keep
Mhm.
myself. I listen to the right things. I listen to positive things. I'm not allowing nothing negative at that time to be going in or whatever, because your
Right.
spirit is sensitive. So
Right. Oh my God.
yes.
Yes. This is
Hmm.
a comment from Samara. Samara, and please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Samara Font or Fan. I'm
Samara
not
Fan.
sure.
Uh-huh.
Okay, forgive me if I mispronounce
Hey
your name, but
girl.
she said it's a battle, and she said you battle diabetes. So that's what she was
Mhm.
saying. That's the word you use.
Yes.
You battle the diabetes, and this
Yep.
is the thing. That's like with the doctor telling me that I had to take blood pressure medicine. And I
Hmm.
was like, I refuse. I'm not taking no medicine, y'all. I took that medicine probably 2 days. I said I ain't taking this because for me it was a pride thing. I said, I ain't taking no medicine. What? But sometimes we realize you have to take the medicine because God has given doctors the knowledge and the wisdom to know that. But at the same time, you don't want to get caught up on the medicine when
Mm-hmm.
all it is you probably need to. I know for me, like changing my diet,
Yep,
watching my
that's it.
intake, and it's true what you say. You got to make sure you're careful of your intake as far as
Mm-hmm.
what you're listening to, what you're
Mm-hmm.
watching, what you're entertaining. I always say the three E's: what you eat, your environment, and watch your ear gates, because we're not going to
Yes.
entertain any negativity. We're not going to entertain any type of gossip. I know me personally, I have zero tolerance for negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you come to
Mm-hmm.
me and you start talking negative, I immediately tune you out. I'm not one of those
Yes.
people. If you come to me being negative, I literally tune you out. If you come to
Yes.
me talking about somebody, I'm looking at you like, instead of you talking about this person, why won't you pray for
Praying
this
for
person?
them. Yes.
Yes, but we all
Mm-hmm.
struggle with something. There's none of us is out here but living a perfect life. We all
At
got some
all.
struggle. So instead of putting our mouth on people, we need to pray for people. But
Yes.
no, we want to sit down, and we got to be careful who we share with. Like you said earlier, you got to be very careful who you
Very.
share with, because there are some people that will act like they're concerned, but
Mm-hmm.
really they're being nosy and they want to tell your business. They want to know
Yeah.
what's going on when
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna dress it up and looking like concerned with Brandy, girl. How you? And as soon as you hang up, child, Brandy, oh girl, she got, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I don't deal with a lot of negativity. If you even give me an inkling that you're negative, if you even give me an inkling of that you're a dramatic person, like drama, chuck the deuces, chuck the deuces.
Yes.
And that's the other thing too. I'm so glad that you say that. We definitely got to be mindful of that. Now, tell us. You mentioned that you want to take, when you moved to Atlanta, you wanted to take some people with you, and you realized you couldn't take them with you. How was that? How was that disconnection from? Because I know with me personally, I value people, I value family, I value
Mm-hmm.
friends, I value relationships. So when I have to disconnect, it hurts me. How do you
It
bounce back?
does.
And sometimes it seems like sometimes the friendships it feel worse than breakups sometimes, because literally it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
a breakup too. So how do you deal with when you have to disconnect from people that you thought was going to be riding with you in the long run?
Ooh, that's good. Honestly, I'll be. Yes, you did. She did just preach that. But the funny thing is, ooh, I had to just do it. I'm just gonna say that. I literally just had to just do it, and I was so obedient that I end up still bringing some of the people, and I knew that God was gonna separate because He had already told me that. So for me, how can I say this? For me in this season, it wasn't as hard because he kind of already told me that he was going to do it. The Holy Spirit had already warned me that he was going to do that because it was time for Brandy to elevate, not for Brandy to bring all these other people, but it was time for me to elevate. And I noticed that once I did disconnect, that's when things began to happen. Opposition was still there, but I noticed that different doors that wasn't opening began to start opening. So, yeah, I won't say it was as hard, to get
Yeah.
over the friendship, but all I did was continue to pray for the people, and I still pray for them. I will not put my mouth on them. I will not say anything negative about them. I'm going to continue to pray for them. But see, the thing now, me at 40 years old, I understand that there are seasons. So everybody is in our life for a season. Some is here for a season, some is here for a reason, some is teaching us lessons. And that's the thing where people get so caught up is that they think some people is going to be in their life forever and ever and ever. No, everything is seasons to everything. There's an ending to everything. And so that's
Right.
something that people have to realize that there's an ending to everything. And it was just time for that to end, especially when God knows, okay, I'm about to take you to another level. So you don't need these certain people anymore. They serve their purpose in your life. You served your purpose in theirs. And that's how I look at it now.
And do you notice, or is it just me? Do you notice how intentional and strategic God is? Because,
Mm-hmm.
like, I know me personally, I was holding on to some people that I didn't want to let go. I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I was like, oh no, I got to be there for them. I got to rock with them. And like a lot of these people, I was riding for. They wasn't riding for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we can be more loyal to people,
That ain't loyal
and
to us.
they're not showing that same loyalty to you. But
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that, because in the mindset, a few years ago, I know I'm not the only one. We used to have this saying, say, no new friends. Let me tell you something. When you hold on to that mentality, no new friends, some of the new people that God sends in your life, those are going to be the main people that are going to bless you. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
bless you better than people that have been in your life for 30
Mm-hmm.
plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friendship that I was 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met somebody over YouTube. And the person I met from YouTube blessed my whole life. And had I still held on to that mindset of no new friends, I would have missed out on a blessing.
Yes, you would have. And
And
people need not to think like that because you will miss out on a lot. That can be
oh
your
my,
door. That person, God can use that very person to open up a door for you that somebody else can't. So those people that have that mindset of no new friends, that's gonna be on them when they missing stuff and
right.
wondering why
And
certain things or certain doors are not opening for them. Well, God is like, I did send somebody, but you said no new friends. So you
right,
missed it.
right. And
He ain't
then
gonna
you
beg us
notice
to
that,
walk through certain doors, honey. He ain't gonna
and
beg us
then
to do that. I
and you
believe he
notice
will
that,
bring an opportunity to us, and if we don't jump on that, that's on us.
right. And you ever notice that there's some people that may be in your life and you're constantly clapping for them.
Mhm.
But when something good happens for you, they don't clap.
Mhm.
Not that you need the accolades, not that you need the hand claps, but you
Mhm.
notice that you're like, oh, okay. Or if you do a post, that's why I tell people not to get so caught up on social media. Like some people
Yes.
take it personal. Well, they sharing this certain person post, but they're not sharing mine. Listen, you pay attention to that kind of stuff, but don't get caught up into it. If you're a business owner such as yourself, when you guys share posts, a lot of time I had a friend, I had to tell them, like, don't worry about the likes, don't worry about the comments, don't worry about the shares. Even if you
Mhm.
don't get no likes, no comments, no shares, keep promoting your business because you
Yep.
are a walking billboard. Don't even
Yes, you
worry.
are.
Like I put this post up and it didn't get any like. No, you're worried about the wrong things. Trust me. You may not get no comments, no likes, no shares, but they see you. So
They
continue to
see
put
you.
yourself out there. They see
Yep.
you, so continue to put yourself out there. And like I said, when you do your lives, I love when you do your lives. That's why I was like, you nervous, girl. You do lives on your page. So what you nervous
Chat.
about?
I be nervous when I do those.
But
Yes.
the lives are very good. They're so encouraging and all of that. But like
Yes.
you said, obedience is key. Obedience is very important in all areas of our lives. So what are some of the things that you would encourage people to do? Like, say you got friends, like you said, you disconnect. But what if you have some friends that God is telling you not to completely disconnect, but you got to be patient with that person. What are you gonna do? Like you if you encouraging that person, you being there for that person, but it seems as if they're not getting it. They still want to do things their way and instead of God's way. How do you continue to encourage that person and be there for them without just totally disconnecting from them when God is specifically telling them that they are an assignment for you? Because let me tell you something, one of my issues was I would cut off people quick. But God was like, I didn't tell you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not you're doing stuff out because we get so caught up in our emotions. I did
Mm-hmm.
not tell you to disconnect from this person. This is a particular person you got to be patient with. How do you keep yourself encouraged sometimes when you feel like giving up, but God has put you on assignment to encourage somebody else?
I believe in showing people grace. I
Mm,
remember that I did have a friend um, that I wanted to go there with sometime, but I'll never forget God telling me to show that person grace. And that's the thing, because it may be somebody that need to show us grace. We might get on somebody's nerves or whatever. We may be an assignment to somebody or whatever, and they're showing us grace. And so that's what I would say is learn how to be patient with people, learn how to show them grace. And the most important thing is to continue to pray for them. God will lead you how to speak, how to talk to them, how when to just be quiet and just let them speak, let them say whatever they need to say. And so the most important thing I would say is show them grace. Just like you want somebody to show you grace, show them grace.
and that's so important that you say that. Not only do you show other people grace, we have to show ourselves grace as well.
Yes.
Because sometimes we can get so caught up in beating ourselves up and we don't even show ourselves grace. We'll
Mm-hmm.
give other people grace, but we don't give ourselves grace. Now, one other thing before we're gonna shift gears a little bit because we want to touch on another topic. But what are your final thoughts in regards to walking in obedience? And then we're gonna shift gears a little bit. We're gonna go into another topic.
um, to be confident, I would say that to be confident in whatever it is that God is leading you to do, to just be obedient in that thing, to walk it out, even in fear. If you're fearful or you're worrying about what somebody think or what they're going to say, it doesn't matter. The important thing is to continue to listen to the spirit of God, which is that little old voice. It's not a real loud one, but it's that little old voice that's telling you, I think you need to do this, or you need to go left, or you need to go right. Follow that voice. Follow that voice. Even if you got to follow it alone, even if you got to do it alone, long as you're being obedient, because I'm telling you, there is a reward in being obedient. There is a major reward. And you don't do it because of the reward. You do it because this is what God is petitioning you or asking you to do. And so I'm telling you, but there isn't a reward in obedience. So,
Absolutely. And I totally agree. And another thing, when you're walking in obedience, you can clearly hear the Holy Spirit's voice talking to you
yes,
clearly when you're walking in
clearly,
obedience. You hear it so clear.
clear,
Like you
very
can be
clear.
going down the road, going someplace where you know you ain't supposed to be going.
Yep.
And he's telling you, hey, turn the car around.
Hmm. You'll begin to get an easy feeling.
Right. Like turn the car around.
Hmm.
So now we're gonna shift gears. We talked about walking obedience. Now you want to touch bases on dating. What exactly you want
Dating.
to talk? We're gonna talk about dating. Dating as a Christian woman. Dating. What does a dating experience look like as a Christian?
Child. Well, listen, I haven't dated in a long time. I'm currently dating now. Um, but pretty much just doing it God's way. And it's not easy. Believe me. It is not easy, but it's so necessary because once again, it still ties in obedience and doing it his way. There's a great reward. And so, yeah.
Because you want like a lot of times when we were growing, I know when I was growing up, you would date to date, or try to get to know people. But now, being in my late 40s, I want to have a purpose partner, someone
Yes.
that God has specifically designed for me. I want to be
Yes.
intentional about dating. I want
Mhm.
to know, like, some of the questions that I ask now that I wouldn't ask early on in life. Well, I want to know if you got a prayer life. I
Mhm.
want to know, do you have a relationship with God? I want to know, like, I want to see what type of people you interact with,
Mhm.
because a lot of times, and not all the case, this is not always the case, but sometimes the type of people you have around you, like mind people usually stick together. So you have to pay attention to all those things as well. What are some of the things in regards to dating that you look for now that you didn't particularly pay attention to early on in life?
The most important thing for me is he has to be a man after God's heart. If he is not a man after God's heart, I'm not, I don't want to be bothered or whatever, but he has to be a man after God's heart. Um, he has to have a plan, a solid plan. What are you bringing to the table or whatever? What is God telling you to bring? Because each person, people, everybody is different. And so I just want to make sure that that person have great intentions, but most importantly, that he is a man after God's heart. He has to be. And he has a plan, um, and he's going to execute that plan or whatever.
Right.
That he's not just talking about it because people can say all types of stuff, but what are they showing you? What is the action that they're showing? So, yeah.
Let me ask you this question. How important is it to you that once you're dating, like, if you really know that you're going to possibly pursue an exclusive relationship with a person, how soon would you, because I listen, I got beat up for this like a while back. We had to debate, some friends and I had to debate, like, how soon would you introduce them to your child? Because, like, when I dated this, I haven't dated in a long time either, but when I was dating, I was like, they're not gonna know who my child is for at least 6 months to a year. And they're like, Tori, that's too long. I'm like, why? I gotta make sure who you say you are before I introduce you to my child. And I think that's some of the mistakes that people make. You
Hmm.
introduce them to your children too soon, and
Hmm.
sometimes the children get attached, and then this
Yep.
person's no longer around, and then you have to explain why they're not around. So
Right.
the question that I'm asking is, when you're dating and you decide that you want to move and be exclusive with this person, how soon, or what is the time frame? I know there's no really set time frame, but what's a minimum to max time frame that you would introduce them to your children? And how important is it to you? Like, say you introduce them to your child, and say your child they ain't feeling that person. How would that affect your decision?
That's a good question. Um, I will say this. I really believe that it depends on who the person is. Um, how serious you're really, getting. And girl, man, that's kind of like a tough question. But I would say I don't think it takes 6 months, Tori. I don't think it takes 6 months to a year now, but because by then, what if God say, okay, that's gonna be your mate or whatever. So what you gonna do? Introduce the child to him at the wedding? So no, I would say, I like I said, I pray about everything, and so me personally, if I know that it's really going in the right direction, I'll say a month to 2 months or maybe three. It just depends or whatever. Like for me, I still have small kids. My oldest son is 21, but I do have a 6 year old and I have a 10-year old. So I try to be very careful um, when to bring someone around. So yeah.
So if you introduce them to your children, and your 6 year, because them younger ones, they be knowing. Say, Mom, that ain't it. I don't like him. And you and say your 6 year old like, Mom, I don't like him. And I ain't feeling him. I don't think that's the one. But you really like them. What do you do in that situation?
Woo. Girl. Thank goodness I haven't had that problem. I have not had that problem. But I guess once again, I would have to, I don't know, really just, pray about it and really reevaluate. Reevaluate. I
Yeah,
probably would sit my child down and ask them why. Why don't they like them, or why do they feel that way? So,
yeah.
yeah.
Because I actually, to be honest, I hadn't dated in a long time, but when I did date, I never introduced it. I never introduced him to my son. I probably
Hmm.
I dated this person probably 8 months or so, and they never met.
And see,
Listen, this
I'll be honest, I didn't do a lot of dating because I was
yeah,
married.
yeah,
So, I really didn't. So the whole dating thing for me now is kind of still new too and fresh
right, right,
because I was married. So, it wasn't no reason for me to date.
right. And see, this is the thing for me, and this is probably going crazy, but my son will be 18 in October.
Hmm.
And to his knowledge, he doesn't know anyone besides that.
Hmm.
Now I dated, but I never introduced anyone to him. The only person he knows is his father. So I don't know if that's a
Hmm.
good or bad thing.
Now,
Let me
now
see.
you
We
kind of
got a comment.
froze.
Am I still there? Juana says, you really don't know a man in 2 or 3 months. With all due respect to yourselves, please, ladies, do not introduce too soon. You are only meeting their representative for the first 6 months.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. And see, that's the thing with me. I never introduced my son to anyone.
Hmm.
So to this day, he think I've only been taking care of him.
Right. And then once
So
again,
I
like
never
I said,
intro-
for
I,
me,
mhm.
I was married.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I didn't bring a lot of people around my kids. I just don't believe in doing that either. But
yeah,
yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of my people, and I'm not gonna say a lot, but people that I have talked to over a period of time or whatever, was if my kids was around, they were introduced to them as this is my friend or whatever, and
right.
that's it. But it wasn't like, I had them hanging around them or anything like that. Hey, Miss Lisa.
And Miss Lisa also says that is probably a very smart thing.
Yes.
And see, that's it. And I was wondering because I know I got criticized because I don't introduce my son to anyone. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, my son is a senior in high school, and he'll be 18 in October. He's
Mhm.
never met anyone. Like when
Mhm.
he was younger, and I may have dated, you know, when he was younger, he never saw them. So
Right.
I mean, I remember him being younger telling me, "You don't want to date," and I was like, "I was dating," but he didn't know that. That wasn't his business. But
Right.
like now that he's older, he still has never seen me. The only male that he knows is his father. So he doesn't even know of me dating at all. So he
Mhm.
thinks all I was just doing is just being his mom. But I just didn't never felt comfortable introducing anyone to my son. So
Right.
and now he's about to be 18. So I was like, sometimes you wait till they get older and start doing their
Mhm.
own thing. I was like, maybe because right now, I mean, I'm be honest, my main focus was my son. Like there are some people, some women get so caught up into having a man
Yeah.
where you lose sight of true motherhood. My focus is my son, and this is
Mhm.
his senior year, so this year is very important for me. Important. I think it's more important to me than it is for him. He's like so just like, yeah, it's my senior year, okay, but it's huge for me because I'm like,
Mhm.
we almost, you know what I'm saying. I got him to the senior year. I'm excited about that.
Right. And see, my
And
focus,
mhm.
before I even started dating, my focus was, of course, my children, but God. That was my
Right,
focus.
right.
Of course, I'm not going to say that I didn't want to date or anything like that. I did, but
Hmm.
my desire was totally different from what somebody else might have wanted. And so
Right,
my thought was, I'm going to continue to wait until God send the right person. And so, yeah,
right. And Mrs. Lisa says it can create a lot of confusion.
it can.
Now,
Yes.
and you said something very key. And I'm gonna put a pin right there. Let me go to this next comment. But you said something very key. I got to point that out. Mrs. Samara, she says, I was the same way. My boys didn't get introduced, but now I feel like it's hard for them to let someone in. Ooh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Ooh, that's really good. That's really good. That's something for me to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there was something that you said in regards to the waiting. For me, the waiting takes on a whole different meaning for me. And the waiting for me is me personally, and a lot of times when I meet people, they want to focus on the physical aspect of a relationship, and I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the mindset where I don't want to engage in any type of physical activity if I'm not married.
Right.
That just where that is just where I am now, because my focus is being staying connected to God and staying focused on Him. And
Mm-hmm.
anything outside of the will of God, I want no parts of it.
And
So
I,
a lot of
oh,
times
go ahead.
it can be difficult. Go ahead. It could be difficult because some men, if the conversation lead that way and they know you're not, they were like, "Oh, this ain't for me," and I be like, "Okay, it ain't for you. Peace."
Juices, right. I feel that if it's the right person, they're going to respect how it is that you feel. And that's just how I feel. If
Right.
it's the
Yep.
right person and you know that it's somebody, he know that you was sent by God and he was sent by God, then if it's the right person, I believe that he will be, respectful enough that, okay, this is what she want to do. And it ain't easy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But if it's the right person, I just, and key word is the right person. If it's the right person, I believe that if that is your decision, both of your decision, he's going to respect how you feel. And not most importantly, he's going to respect God.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. And
So,
Miss Lisa says boys will always look at any man sideways at first. That's true.
yes, they will. Because I got all
That's true.
boys too. And my oldest son, child, my oldest son is 21. He think he my daddy.
And Samara says amen, and then she says right when you were saying they gotta know, they gotta be after God's own heart. They gotta
Yes,
be.
he do.
They truly have to be there. But I've actually, I let me tell y'all, there was a gentleman that there was a gentleman that there was a couple people that tried to talk to me, and when they went to the left talk about physical stuff, I was like, I'm not there, and there was one that said, well, just call me when you, I'm like, well, I won't be calling you. And I'm the type of person, they go to the left, I'm the blocking queen. They call me the blocking queen because I block you real quick if it go to the left.
Right.
And I have another one that tried to talk, but now he's like, he said to me, he said, you know what, I have to respect where you are, and I respect the fact that you're standing firm on your in your desire to wait. He said, I can't
Hmm.
do nothing but respect that. And he said, most women I can get them to give in, but you stood your ground and you did
Hmm.
not give in. So I can only respect that.
Right. Right.
So we can have a conversation now, and it doesn't even come up. We can have a productive conversation, and it doesn't even come up. But then there's some where you have to immediately block because they still gonna try to make you go there, bruh.
Right.
It ain't happening over here. It is not happening. But like you said, if they are sent and ordained by God, they'll respect your wishes and they will be willing to wait. They'll be willing to
Yes.
wait. Girl,
They'll
can
be
you
willing to
believe
wait.
we've been on here for like 52 minutes already? Oh my God, it's been
Yes.
almost an hour. So listen, I don't want to take up too much more time of your Sunday, but tell us what exactly do you have coming up? Tell us, make sure you let people know your business handles, how to get in contact with you, and tell us what some of the things that you got coming up.
Okay, so right now I am working on a couple of different events. I'm also working on something that I will be announcing soon. I'm not going to announce it right now, but just know that if you are a entrepreneur and that you have been an entrepreneur for 5 years or less, please stay tuned. You can reach me on Facebook under Brandy Clementia, or which is my Everything She Loves. And then I'm also on TikTok under Brandy Clementia. No, I'm on TikTok under Everything She Loves. And then I'm also on IG under Brandy Clementia. I'm also working on a class. I'm going to be doing a virtual class where I'm teaching you how to make photo earrings. And that class will be September 17th. It's $75. You can register now. You have now until September the 1st to register for that class. And like I said, it's going to be virtual, so it'll be via Zoom for that class. And then also, right now, I am running an earring festival. So if you would like to purchase earrings that I am posting on my pages, or if you would like to order earrings, you can get those earrings at a discounted price right now. That is going on until August 31st. And I think that's it for right now. But yes, I will have some amazing things that's coming up that I'm working on. And so you ladies and gentlemen will have to stay tuned. And for the people that when I was talking about the other thing that I'm working on, it can be male or female vendors. Male or female vendors. And I really wanted to focus on people that have been in business 5 years or less.
And you're doing something different that you recently started doing differently with your shades. You're actually now creating shades for men, which is dope. That's so dope.
Yes, yes. I am now offering shades for men. I don't have a lot, and usually when I do post the different shades for men, those shades go extremely fast. So I will be posting some more soon, but I'm actually getting prepared for fall now. But you can still
Okay.
wear sunglasses now, honey, in the fall and in the winter.
Right. Right.
So
And
yes.
then also talk about, like, I love something that you do during the week. I think it's called Working Women's Wednesdays, and
Yes.
now
Okay. So yes. So actually, I just started this. About 2 Mondays ago now. I started Marvelous Men's Monday, and that's where we will promote a man um, who we feel is, doing an amazing job in his community, or we just want to shout him out or whatever to let him know that he's just as important as the women. I also do something for the women on Wednesdays called Wonderful Women's Wednesday. And on that day, I usually try to have a sale for the women of anything that I may have. I try to put it on a discounted price. And then I also choose a woman, and she is considered that star woman on that Wednesday. So,
that's it. I said it wrong. My bad.
no, it's
Say it again.
okay. So, yeah,
I messed it
every
all up. I said
Wednesday,
working with.
yes, every Wednesday is Wonderful Women's Wednesday. And then every Monday is Marvelous Men's Monday. So yes,
I
tomorrow,
love it.
actually tomorrow, we have a phenomenal young man who is a performer. He's a performer, and so you'll see that on my page on tomorrow. He's an awesome
I'm
young
looking
man.
for it. I'm looking forward to it because I love the I love it, and I love the fact that you're now acknowledging the men as well, because I
Yes,
know I
because
feel
they
like
are
it was
just as important as the women, honey.
absolutely. Now,
Yes.
what are some of your final thoughts before we close out? What are some of your final thoughts in regards to walking in obedience, and also your final thoughts in regards to dating?
Whew. Um, to just do it. I'm gonna say that as far as the obedience is concerned. If God is leading you to do something, do it. Don't hesitate, even if you got to do it in fear, to do that thing. And if He say to do it alone, do it alone, because you don't need an audience to do what it is that He's calling for you to do. And as far as dating is concerned, wait, be patient, wait on God, allow Him to lead you, and when it's time for the right person to come, they will. They will. And you're going
Absolutely.
to know.
That's all.
You're going to
Listen,
know that it's the right person, because I really believe that your spirit and his spirit, or vice versa, your spirits will bear witness. You will just know. And it's like it's going to be hard to explain, but you'll just know. You'll just know.
right. Well, this has
And
been
I believe
awesome.
one more thing. I believe that
Okay.
that person is going to make you feel better about who you are. And not just that, but he's going to I'm going to say he because I'm a woman. He's going to want to see you do better. You're going to want to see him do better or whatever. So, yeah, you're not going to be bringing any chaos to one another. But I just really believe that your spirit will bear witness. You'll just know. You'll just
That's good. That's really
know.
good. Well, thank you so much for taking
You
the
are
time out
so
of your Sunday
welcome.
to hang out with me today. And you guys, make sure you reach out to her if you want some specialized shades, you want some specialized earrings. Make sure you
Hmm.
definitely reach out to her because she does amazing work. I'm actually going, when she
Thank
start
you.
posting the other stuff, she actually tags me on stuff, so you'll see my stuff, see her stuff on my page as well. So make sure you definitely reach out to her. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And Brandy, I want you to
Thank
hang on a
you.
second. Once we end the live, I want you to hang on backstage for me. But thank
Okay.
you guys for watching the live. If you
Thank
missed
you.
the beginning, make sure you go back and watch the replay. Make sure you share this, and I'll do my best to try to re-air it as well. But as I always end each show, whatever you do in this thing called life, you may bend, but don't you dare break. Always remember, in all you do, life is going to present some obstacles, but always remember to keep the faith. You guys have a blessed Sunday, and we're out. Peace out. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Well, actually, Monday is like in 5 minutes. So we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Thank you.